We are going to get through this online COVID semester together. There's a lot of difficulty, there's a lot of transition, a lot of adjusting. We're having to be so flexible and adaptable. Today I want to share with you some of the success strategies I'm observing in my students, the ones who are doing well. And I'm hoping that these strategies will help you keep going, maybe give you some ideas to make small changes to keep going, to gain traction and reach your academic goals this semester. This particular student I want to showcase has had to shelter in place in the dorms on campus. He wasn't able to return home, and the campus is basically a ghost town. Almost everybody's gone. There are a few essential personnel on campus. It's not totally empty, but compared to how it was before, it's pretty empty. So what are the things that this student is doing to be successful, to stay on track, to keep learning his coursework? Number one, he has a routine. So if I could give a title to today's comments, it would be Routine is Your Best Friend. Number one, this student wakes up early, sets an alarm, gets up early every morning and works out with a friend. And what gets him out of bed in the morning is not wanting to disappoint his friend, not wanting to disappoint himself, not wanting to lose all the gains he's already made in his workout, and a little bit of competition from the videos that he's getting from back home from his siblings. Number two, he has regular school work time. So there's designated times in his schedule, in his day, specifically for schoolwork. He has a big block of time in the morning, a big block of time in the afternoon, and then in the evening, if he still needs to revisit some schoolwork, he'll do some schoolwork in the evening. And that's not all that unusual, but when we were in regular school, that schedule that framework was kind of in place for us, and now we have to put it in place for ourselves. So he sets an alarm to start school at a certain time. And then he determines, I will work on school from, let's just say, 9 a.m. till 11:30 or to noon. You get to choose. During that big study block in the morning, you study for 25 minutes and then you take a break. 25, break, 25, break. This will help you stay on task. This is called the Pomodoro technique. Pomodoro. Pomodoro technique, where you study for 25, off for 5. 25 on, off for 5. Now the amount of time that 25-minute chunk, it could be more, it could be less, depending on your focus at the time, your energy at the time, as well as the level of difficulty of the material. The next thing that is involved in your routine, remember routine is your best friend, are regular breaks. A breakfast break, a lunch break, a dinner break, regular breaks. This student, during his breaks, his noon break, he calls his family back home and spends some time on the phone with family. So the next component of regular routine is staying connected to family. I have a student who takes the time, makes the effort to get up in the morning and have breakfast with the family. I have another student that makes sure that he has scheduled morning walks with his family. I have another student who has set aside a certain amount of time every day to help her mom with things around the house and projects her mom is working on. So just household chores, being a responsible member of the household. So staying connected with the family and the family routine. Staying connected with friends, of course, that's pretty given and obvious. But also the next thing is staying connected with profs. It's important that you reach out to your professors. It's even more important now than before. You shouldn't let the week go by without connecting with your prof in some way, whether it's in office hours or attending live lectures or emailing or even asking for a phone call. It's important to stay connected to your professor. It's going to be very hard to do your schoolwork if you don't have a personal touch with your professor. The fifth thing that my student is doing that contributes to his well-being and contribute to his doing well this semester, and I think he's going to finish very strong, is learning a new skill. Learn something new. I have one student that has decided to learn a new language. Another student has decided to pull out her old paintbrushes and her canvases and start painting again. I have another student who's cooking new recipes. I have another student who has decided to finish his old Lego project, a very complex Lego building project. So take the time right now to embrace something new, learn something new, or maybe pull one of your old interests out and dust it off and keep at it. This is so important. It is so important to keep your mind engaged. Don't let yourself get bored. So in today's the big message for today is routine is your best friend. And what are the 5 components to routine? Regular workout, designated study times, designated break times, staying connected with family, friends, and your professors, and learning something new, a new skill, a new interest. I hope you can take these tips and maybe tweak them or change one small thing this week to help nudge your needle towards your goal of finishing this semester strong. If you have any topics you'd like me to address in the next video, please message me on Facebook, Ruth Bomar Academic Coach, or on my YouTube channel, Ruth Bomar Academic Coach. I'll see you soon. See you next week.